Hello everyone. In my last previous session, you all might have gone through the videos. You all might have gone through uh, exception handling, error, and all other stuff. Today, I will show you these basic things like data types, primitive data type, non-primitive data type. These basic things you will see. Let me complete all these basic things. Along with that, I will talk about string. You know. So let me start today's session. These are very basic. Okay, so I'll go through some images from Google which I have already selected, and I will explain you all that. Yeah. So this is was one image which I'm going to explain data types, and then maybe this is another image which I will explain you. Maybe this is another image. These all you can go through theory. I will show you some programs. That's all we will do today, and after that then we'll start string. So see this image. Data types, right? So see, what is a data type? First of all, the question is what is a data type? If you have gone through my previous very beginning sessions, the oh sorry, I missed to share my screen. You it's not visible, right? So let me share my screen. Sometimes it happens. Yeah, I have shared my screen. So this is the image which I got from the Google. I don't have any PPT. I'm not a trainer, so I have not prepared any PPT. So I don't have any PPT. I'm just going to whenever it is required, I will find it from the Google and explain to you. In Google, internet already everything is there. So let's go through this. Data types. What is a data type? First of all, data type it defines type of a data. It comes from two words: data types. Data types define the type of data. What type of data is it is? Is it is an integer? Is it is a float? Or is it is a string? It is a character? What kind of data type it is? Or it is a class type? Or it is a interface type? Or it is abstract class type? Or it is a type of array? Or it is string character? These are called data types, right? So when we talk about data types are specifically defined into two categories: primitive and non-primitive. you know Primitive data types and non-primitive data types. Primitive data types are the data types which is coming from this from the uh, very beginning of the programming languages, right? So when this entity object came into picture, you know entity things or object things, class things came into picture, that time non-primitive data types started coming into more into picture. So now, if you think about primitive data type, it is there from the very beginning of the programming language. This primitive data type are our like decimal numbers. This is called primitive data type. Decimal numbers are the primitive data types. Without decimal numbers are primitive data type. Binary. All these are primitive data types. So here in this screen, if you are watching my screen, you will be able to see primitive data types. In that it comes integer, floating point, character, boolean, right? So integer actually is holding byte, short, int, long, and floating point is holding float and double. Character is holding char, boolean is boolean. These are primitive data type. And non-primitive, as I said, classes, interfaces, arrays, strings. These are non-primitive data type. I'll go to the another image where some more things are there. I will explain about that also. Yeah, but let me up on this. Let me open here primitive. Yep. This screen is not big. It is a small one. Okay. So see, your primitive data types, these are 8 types. That is very true. So see here, boolean, byte, short, integer, long, float, double, and character. This is what it is given, right? So see, boolean type is always one bit. Either it is true or false. And default for boolean is always false. If you define a boolean type and you have not assigned anything, it will be false. I will show you by doing a program. I will show you that and I will explain you. Explanation stores true or false values, right? Byte type. Byte type is always 1 byte or 8 bits. Store default value is 0. Stores whole number from 120 minus 128 to 127. That is what it is the capacity. It can store. It cannot go beyond 128, 127, that is 129. Right. Sort. Sort has a size of 2 bytes or 16 bits. It is also default 0. You can see this picture, the store whole numbers from this, the what is the range given? No, it will store basically that range. It will not go beyond that range. That is the reason why, sometime when we are defining any ID, we go with string. That is the only reason. Because if you go to long is 8 by 64 bits, still then it has a boundary, the whole number. 92233720368547758007. So if you think about future, population might the whole population of a country or maybe the world might cross this value sometime in future. So it is not possible, but it's always to have in a safer side. We can give this idea as it is. And again, forget about population. You are doing so many transactions. If you have a transaction ID, this transaction ID always it will always cross this particular number, right? So always sometime people we used to take ID as string only for that reason, because string has no limit. But here all these data types of primitive data types, they has a limit where we can store a value up to that limit, right? So if you see short, int, long, these all. If you see byte, short, int, long, these are under integer, and what these all are representing? These all are under integer. One second, where it is. Yeah, these all are under integer, and the default value of this is 0, 0, 0. See, byte is 0, short is 0, int is 0, long 0. I think I have shown you previously one program where we have to put L or F, right? Somewhere I have shown you. So I will explain it again here also. And coming to the other data type, that is floating point, right? Floating point has two float and double. So the default value again it is 0, 0.0f, 0.0g, is your d. So this is again what? This is again your 0. The value is 0, default value. Coming to character, character has 2 bytes, 16 bits. 2 byte and 16 bits. So the default value it is given 000/u00 stores a single character letter or ASCII values, right? You know what is ASCII? There is two coding standards. One is ASCII and the other is EBCD. ASCII is American Standard Coded for Information Interchange. EBCD is also something like that. Extended Binary Coded Decimal Information. EBC, Extended Binary Coded Decimal something. It's been long time. Let me open it again. EBCD. Yep. Yes, extended binary coded decimal interchange code. These are the ABCD and ASCII. These are the two coding standards. So we'll just have a versus ASCII. You can. These are very basic. These are very basic in schools. People will be reading. ABCD is extended binary coded decimal interchange code, and ASCII is American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Are character encoding system. These two are character encoding system. That's why they have written ASCII there. EBCD uses 8 bits per character, 256 possible character, where ASCII uses 7 bits, 128 possible character. If you want to learn more about EBCD and ASCII, you can always look into this, and you'll come to know what is the difference between both of them, right? So let's go back to the data types. Now, non-primitive anyway, we are going since Java is a object-oriented programming. We will always most of the things will be class and object. So most of the things will be non-primitive data type here. So we'll anyhow we'll discuss that slowly while discussing all the components or all the artifacts or all the maybe attributes, properties or behaviors, whatever available in Java, inbuilt and custom. When we discuss automatically, we will discuss this non-primitive data type. I'll show you some example. Before showing you example, what I will do, I will show you some one more thing here. Sorry, integer. There is something called wrapper classes in Java. So I will talk about that also. Let me open from these websites. Some websites for that wrapper classes. Rather opening this, let me go to the images. See if I can find one image. Image will help us to go in a better uh, understanding way. Okay, so let me go to this guy. One small image I found, which is really good, and we will discuss about that. In W3C school, it is also there. Here also it is there. Everywhere the images are there. I find, yeah. So let's see that. Let me go to the W3 class. See, if you see, since Java is object-oriented programming, since Java is object-oriented programming, this wrapper class came into concept. You know? And this wrapper class, actually, what is that? This is a wrapper around primitive data type, you know, which comes with Java. So if you see Boolean, it's a primitive data type. For that, you have a wrapper class called Boolean. That is the objective type, class type. For primitive type, you have a character. The wrapper also character. So basically, you have 8 wrapper classes for all primitive data types. You know, some equivalent. Boolean character, byte, short, int, long, float, double. So alternatively, if you want to use, you can use primitive type or you can define a Boolean data type and you can use that. It doesn't matter. There is something called auto boxing, unboxing that I will tell you. No, what is auto boxing? What is unboxing? If you define a wrapper class type, it will be automatically converting primitive into objects. That is called auto boxing. Right? When a primitive will be when a primitive data will convert to into objects, that will be called auto boxing. When a primitive when a objects will convert to primitive, that is called unboxing. This is the concept here. We'll see these all examples. I will show you all these examples now, and let's continue with the examples. These are very simple. This video I just made because I missed this topic of literals or variables. That's why I came here. Let me close this. Close all of them. What happened? My Eclipse is not yep, not responding. Anyway, see, if you people want to read some books, I would refer, if it is possible for you to find the book of Kathy Shera. I think I have mentioned it one of the session during our time. There is Sun Certified Java SCJP. It is called Sun Certified Java Programmer, written by Kathy Shera and Bud Bates. This was a very good book. It explains in detail about core Java concepts. If you are able to find Kathesera book, I don't know if she's writing this. She's still writing Java books. If she's not writing Java books, download one old PDF or old book from internet, uh, because the core concept of Java is same. It is not changed. Only the advanced features are added for better programming and helping developers to write a better code, right? So the core concept is always same. So if you are able to download that book, go to that book once, whatever the concept you want to understand, it will it will be very helpful to you. Otherwise, you can get a latest book of Java 21 or Java, whatever the latest version of the book is coming, where it is explained in detail. See, the headfast books are also good, but I don't know how now they are if releasing the latest book, because it's been a long time for me reading the Java books. If you want, you can go get them and read that. Otherwise, internet is also available, lots of resources. Read some books and write programs to make your funda clear in, uh, you know, uh, Java. Yeah, my Eclipse is back to normal. Let me create a package of data type and start our code. Sometimes this happens in my Eclipse because of some reason. So let's ignore all this. What is happening? Type key. This. Let's ignore all this and let's start. I started my career with a developer. I started coding with basic programming language in my school. Somewhere around 95, 96, 1995, 96. I passed my high school in the year 1999. By that time, I was very good programmer. You ask me to do any flowchart, pseudocode, algorithm, write program, I will be like this, chutki mein. That's how it happened. So if you practice, you can do that way. And when I was working as a developer, whatever situation or use case will come to me, I will finish it and I will be looking to my friends here and there. They will be still writing. I don't know. They pretend to do it slowly or what. You see, it depends on every individual, right? So, what I would refer if you're really interested to become a software engineer, start learning coding, start writing program, and try to always write a single program in different logic, different way. It will improve your logical mind. And what will happen when you join any organization, or if you're really working, if you're working professional, you will you will improve your skills, and whenever you get any use case to write or story to write code, you will do it faster. You will do it very fast. Okay. So the package is created. I'll create a main class, and in that class only we will do everything. Okay. So main class is created, a main method inside that main class. So main method is also created. Right. So I was talking about data type. Right. Let's go back to our page. That image, the previous image. Yes, this one. See here we see byte one byte stores whole number from -128 to 127. So let's check this. For your understanding. Byte. My Eclipse is a little bit slow. I don't know why. Yeah, byte byt byte equal to, I'll give 143, let's say, right? See what happened now. It is showing one error. Why? Let's see what is the error. Type mismatch cannot convert into byte. Okay, it is showing time mismatch cannot convert into byte. I'll give 127. Is there any error? No. Right? There is no error. If I give 128, there is error. Right? So by this we can see we cannot go beyond 128 whole number. Let's say I'll give minus 127, minus 128, minus 129. What happened? Error. See, now if I type mismatch cannot convert into byte. See here we are writing it in editor, so often we will be able to see the compilation error while writing the code. But if you are writing it on Notepad, you will not be able to see the compilation error until unless you won't compile that file, right? So this is how it is. So this range you have to always be careful. This range always you have to be careful. Like for integer, right? For integer it is showing this is the range. This is the max range 2147. Let's put that for integer also here. That range int is a value 2147 483 647. Right? This is the max value in integer they are saying. So if I put here 8, what happened? Cannot convert. The literal of type is out of range. Right? It is out of range. Similarly, for long also that range, if you go beyond that, it will be out of range. Here, I will tell you a beautiful story. One of my uh, team member, who where we are writing a new use case, new implementation. He was just from the college, and he got some training in finance at the company. I don't know how much knowledge he has acquired there, but in I think most of the training they will not explain all this detail with example or with program. They will just go the theory and they will say this is how data type, this how it works, this how it works. So he has learned it, but he has implemented something with integer value, and it was going beyond this number. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 digit, right? 10 digit. It was going beyond this digit, that number. It was 13 or 14 digit. He was trying to hold it in an integer value, and the application is going wrong. It is showing wrong data, wrong information for that particular ID. While scanning the code, during the unit testing, identified, okay, it is int. So make it long, it will work, right? So for long also something like 15 or 16 digit, or maybe 21 digit. How many digit it is? Let's count this for long. For long it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 digit. Now if you have a 21 or 22 digit ID, it will be really difficult to store in that particular data type, right? So you should always be careful while defining the right data type of a particular variable which you are using inside your application or program. You know, So this whatever I am discussing here, this is for the beginners. Currently I am looking for an opportunity, applying for jobs. I have enough time, so I thought let me create some videos and upload for you students or learners. So this is how it is. So now I will not check for the range. Now I will check some other uh, application of this data type or other uses of this data type, right? Yeah, one more default. I want to show you the default thing, right? So see, now I will not define here integer value only I will do, and I will do boolean, right? I will do boolean boolean uh, boolean value, no boolean value, right? Now I will print all this. What it will print? Just check it. Must verify the default value is same. Yeah, I have defined class variable integer value and boolean value, and I made it static because I'm accessing it inside the static method. If you want to access any variable within a static method, then that variable should be static method. If you want to access a method inside a static method, then that method which you are accessing without creating an object, then that should be a static method. So here I don't want to create object, just simply I want to access that variable, so I made it static. And now let's see what value we are getting it here. It's running. Let's see. See, default value 0, default value false, right? So see, this is how it comes. So here it is programming language. In personal life, what is your default value? True. You should always stay with your original identity. That is true. Default value should be true in our personal and professional life. This is just a, statement from my side to all professionals and all individuals. Always be original, always be authentic, always be true to yourself and to others. This is for default value. You can check like that for all other data type default values, right? We'll see some other program. We'll see some other program. See, these are very basic. I think the website which I opened it is for very, simple. It has given you all can go and check it, right? You can do it. There's so many websites. Go and check and do it, right? So that's how it is. So we'll talk about now, string. We'll talk about. I will write few example of my own, and then we'll talk about string. I'm closing all this, whichever I have opened here about data type. All this I'm closing. Yeah, wrapper class I want to show you, right? I'll tell you something about wrapper class also. See, instead of this static int, I'll make it wrapper class. Integer object type. I'll make it boolean of the wrapper class. Right? Now I will run it. See what we are getting the result. Null, null. Can you tell me why it is null? Because it is object, right? Wrapper class. Wrapper class is what? It is a class, right? And object. The default value of an object is always null if nothing is assigned there, right? To assign this to a default value, we have to write this 0 here. If you give true, the default value will be true. Now see 0 and true, right? This is how it should be. Now, see, this is a true is a primitive type, 0 is a primitive type. We're assigning this primitive type to integer, right? Converting primitive type to a class type. So auto-boxing, right? The concept here it comes. See, here if I do value equal to, right? I'll write, let's say, some random number. This must be, it will not hold, right? Some random number I'll write. So this is a primitive type. In the right hand side, we have primitive, and it is a class value, right? So this is called your boxing. Okay, this is our value, right? So let's go out of this and do something else. So the upper class things also you have seen now. So see, integer, I can define like this only, right? Without any hierarchy. And float, float f, right? I'll write everything I'll define with boolean. Right. Float. Float range, right? One more I missed here. Wrong. See, now how many it is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more. Let me define. Eight. Okay. So see, everything is fine. Long is showing error and float is showing error. Why? What is the reason? Whenever you define a long variable, at the end you have to put a L. Whenever you are defining float variable, at the end you have to define F. Then only it will represent as long and float. In floating type, you have decimal and float. By default, whatever variable you define float, you define a type of floating or in floating type, it will be double. If you don't write anything, right? So for example, if I am doing like this, x equal to, x equal to this dot this divided by this dot this, right? So I'll make x as integer or x as double, right? So this, see, by default, this number is double and this double is double. When JVM will do calculation, they will consider this number as double until unless I put F in there. Right? So this is how. Or if I want to specifically tell my left hand side is float and right hand side I want to keep double. So you have to define it as a D. You have to define it as a D, right? So what will happen? It will give some error. Like now it is giving. So type mismatch cannot convert from double to float. Right? Syntax error on Tukundi, delete these two, right? So it cannot convert float to double, it is saying. So if you make it on this side double, it will work, right? For double, you not required to mention anything. And why float cannot be converted to double? Because the range of float is more and sorry is lesser than the double. So the Sorry, I told wrong thing. The range of the double is more than the float. That is the reason double will not be able to convert to float. You know, if you convert a double to float, some of the number might, you might get a wrong calculation result or wrong result because of the range it is holding. So always don't convert double to integer or double to this thing, right? Here also you can convert double to C. If I'm writing integer here, I will show you what happens. Integer. It is giving error, right? I will write here integer. I'll put a bracket here. See, I'm forcibly converting this double to integer. What will happen? Let's see. I'll just print as well as or to for your benefit. To show you, make you understand. See what will happen. What happened now? We got 2 in the result. Let us see the actual result. See, I'll put it double. I'll put it double. This will come the actual result, right? Or let's say to make it more clear, I'll remove this thing. It will give the actual result. You got 2 output if it is integer, right? If I'm writing integer there. See 2.493712 this. Why it gave in 2? Because integer data type will not hold any decimal point value. It will hold only the whole number. No decimal point value, right? No real numbers. Now if I make it float, what will happen? See what will happen here. The how much number you are seeing till 7034404. What is happening? Let's see here. Huh? Cut off, right? 2.493713. So this is how you will get the result. So while converting, you should be very careful. Your calculation or you are not missing something, right? So you should be very careful while converting a high range data type to a lower range data type. This is how the things happen, right? Now what we will do next. Next, we'll talk about string and character. Right? Simply, I have shown you in previous session by defining a string like this, right? String name equal to Satya, right? And now, can I convert this name to character? Same here, range. Character will always hold a single, right? That is a single letter, and here you have so many letters. Is it possible to convert? No, it's not possible. You can break down this. We can break down this, Satya to different character by using different string operation, but not directly. So now here you all have seen, this equal to symbol, this equal to symbol. Here this is serving this equal to operator is serving as assignment symbol here. We are assigning the right side value to the left side value, right? That is how it is serving. Now if I do if inside if when we write, let's say I have defined here byte as 127, short as 127, right? If I do b y equal to s, what will happen? Let's do match, right? 127, 122 is a match. Let me run it. What is happening? Match, right? These values are matching, right? If I do like this, What will happen? It is error because it is a assignment operator and cannot be used inside if condition, right? So we have to write double equal to make it an equal to operator for if condition. I will tell you one beautiful question which comes during, when you in some of the campus interview or maybe in some places, what people will do, they will ask you like this. If, okay, let me tell what happens here. By equal to s, right? So by value is 127, s value is 127. So 127 equal to 127. So the value is true. That's why it goes to the if and it tells us match. Now, coming back to the question here, b. If I put b, what will happen? B value is true, right? So it will print match. It will print match. If I make B false, what will happen? It will not print because it is not a match. I'll write one else to see that. No match, right? Now, interesting part is here. What will be the value? Sometime your eye will miss it. See, match. Here I'm giving single equal to. You will say this is error, but this is not error. See, Boolean will always give you true or false. But when we are using integer, double, character, float, string, we have to compare to get a Boolean value that is true or false, which if is expecting. But here B is Boolean itself, and if I assign to B equal to true, that means I'm assigning true to that b, at the end b is true. It is holding a boolean value, so it will execute this statement. It is not going to say it is an error. So you have to be very careful what you are doing, and you need to very conscious while using this conditional statement to true false, right? Sometimes if you miss the equal to operator, then it will have an error. Now if I do equal to, what will happen? In top b is false, right? It is false, and it is true. So it will go to no match. See, just with a single adding another equal symbol there or equal operator there, what changes the situation, right? So this kind of question sometimes people ask in interview. Sometimes it comes if you're going to go give certification exams. This type of question also comes, right? It's very interesting. See, let's make it true. Now it will give a match. Yes. So make it false. It will give you no match. Yes. Now let's remove this. What will happen? In top it is true. And what I'm doing here, I'm just assigning false to that b variable, right? So this is how it is, right? This is how it is, right? This is how it is. This is how it works. So you have to be very careful while, you know, you have to be very careful while looking into the coding. That's how it is. We'll talk about string now. String name one, name two equal to. Okay, let's say Satya again. We will have one more. In this if condition, we'll just remove this b equal to false. We will put here name one equal to name two. Match, right? Now I'll make it like this. New string. What will happen? No match. See, this is also Satya, this is also Satya. Why it is no match in this case? Okay. Now I'll show you one more thing. Slowly, we are going to handle little bit critical things here. Not critical, it is simple, but you need to understand. Dot equals. You see, in first case, what will happen, and in second case, what will happen? Match and no match. In first condition, name one equal to name two is giving me no match. In second, name one dot equals to name two is giving me a match because both are Satya, right? You're getting me? Both are Satya. Now I want to show you something. I will delete this. Make it like previous. Huh? In both the places, you are getting match or not, just check it. Both the cases are getting match. But when we make this new string, and first case that is from line number 21 to 24, first if condition line number 21, you are getting no match. In second if condition 26, you are getting match. See, the first if condition name one equal to name two, it always compare the when we're checking with data type. When we're checking with data type, it will always compare the reference of the object. You know, so this is we are creating using new object. So when you create, when you get the object where object you're using new string, this get created in heap memory, and this is getting created in string pool, right? I'll tell what is string pool, what is in memory in coming session today. Just understand what happens. So this will have a different reference, and this will have a different reference, and that reference value, is different because of which it is not able to match in equal to condition. But when you write equals, what equals do? Equals always check the content of that reference. So this reference variable is content is Satya. This reference variable content is Satya. So it is not checking the reference IDs or references, right? So that's why it is giving match. So always it is better to use in case of when we are using object type to check equality or equal condition. Always use equals, not the equal operator. So equals always check the content if you want to check the content of that particular data type. If I add SSYP, what I will do, I will print name dot, sorry, name is not there, no, name one dot, there is one method to print the reference variable. I'm just trying to see if I can find that. Let's see toString, what does it print? It will print the, in object cases, it will print the reference, of that particular, let's see, name one, name two. Yes. No. Let me do something here. Because I'm trying to print to see, the reference. Yeah. So see, this is giving me the reference variable class type main, right? So these two also, they should also give me the reference variable, these two. But anyway, I will see why it is not giving. So today, today what we will do, we will today Today we will end this session here. Coming session, what happened in coming session, next session, or maybe tomorrow session, I will explain about the string in detail. Because if I start explaining string in detail, it will extend more. It will go for another hour. No, I don't want to keep these videos more than an hour. Because it will be boring for you people to watch it. People might be watching series on OTT platform like Netflix or Amazon Prime, maybe almost all of you will have Amazon Prime account, so you might be watching these series. You will not get bored while watching these series more than 1 hour or 2 hour if it is interest to you. But even if when we're looking into Java program, you will get bored, right? So let's keep this within 1 hour or less than 1 hour. Sometime while explaining, it might go beyond few minutes, more than an hour. But let's keep it here because it is video. It is not live session. If it is live session, then you might get interested. But since video, you will get boring since there is no interactive, right? Yeah. So I want to tell you one more thing right here. You all, if you are watching my video, if you have any question, any doubt, you need any clarification on the content which I'm explaining in that particular video, put your queries on the comment section of that particular video. I will reply in that comment section. Otherwise, you mail me to my mail ID or you can send me on over the LinkedIn. I'm always ready to help you. That's how it is. We'll keep it very simple, or we'll keep it simple. We'll end this today's session here. Have a what is something? Have a nice journey on this Java. If you are learning it from my video, or maybe if you have watched once and you don't like, you are learning it from a view. So I have a nice journey in a programming language, learning Java. You should learn it, and you should if you are planning to make it career, you have to go in depth, right? And Java is always used in product development or software development. Java will be alive and will have demand for another decades of years. People say, I will tell you one more thing here. You don't get confused with the what the world is saying. People saying artificial intelligence from 2000, from 2022, not 2000, sorry, from 2022, 2023 onwards. I started using artificial intelligence in 2016, 2017, and I started working on one of the artificial model in 21, 22, 2017 when I was working with the healthcare industry. Right? We created data model for some healthcare data dictionary. You see, what I'm trying to tell you, people will tell lot of things. You have lots of programming language. All programming language has its equal importance in its area or in its field. It cannot be used or it cannot replace the other programming language. Yeah, if someone develops something like that, what that programming language is doing, then it might replace, but otherwise not. Java is always famous for product development and with web-based application or maybe with a standard application, so it will be there. So it is not like you have to follow the trend and adapt something and learn something and grow. You should always go with your interest, whatever you are into, right? Artificial intelligence, data modeling, this is booming now because people want to have data models for everything, so that whatever questions, whatever concerns it comes, they put the questions, they get its relevant solution or solution from for that question or problem. So that is the reason this will have in demand. But other than that, all programming language will have equal importance, equal importance in its area, in its field. So don't worry. If you are learning, learn it and uh, let me know your queries or whatever clarification you need on the comment section or mail me or pass me over the LinkedIn. Thank you, everyone.